Very good morning, students. You are welcome to online classes of Oriental Public School. Today I am here with a video of class 10 Political Science. Your topic is federalism. In today's class I am going to teach you about federalism and already have given few videos of this chapter, and today I am going to teach types of federation. As you know, there are two kinds of routes through which federations have been formed, and these two routes are coming together federation and holding together federation. While we will be discussing about coming together federation, it involves independent states coming together on their own to form a bigger unit, so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity, they can increase their security. Example: USA, Switzerland and Australia. The USA, Switzerland and Australia are three names of countries which come under coming together federation. Next one is holding together federation. It is where a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. Then it is called holding together federation. Examples of holding together federation are India, Spain and Belgium. These three countries, maybe some more countries, but for example I am giving you the name of three countries that come under holding together federation: India, Spain and Belgium. I hope you have understood this topic. Moving to the next point, as you know, three lists of the constitution, and these three lists divide the power between the central government and state government. Mentioning the subjects, the constitution clearly provided a threefold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. Thus it contains three lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. So union list, it includes subjects of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. These three subjects are listed in the union list. Next one is the state list. It contains subjects of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. These are the subjects mentioned in the state list. Next is concurrent list. It includes subjects of common interest to both the union government as well as the state government, so such as education, forest, trade, unions, marriage, adaptation and succession. These are few subjects which are mentioned in the concurrent list. So while discussing on the concurrent list subject, the consent of both the levels of government is necessary. If state government is not being agreed with these subjects, in that particular situation the decision will be taken by the central government will be followed and supremo. In that situation state government cannot forbid to take the decision. But while the subjects mentioned in the union list, only central government has authority to take decision on these subjects, and state list only state government. And one more subject is there, residuary list or residuary subjects. And in this subject we have e-commerce and computer softwares, and these two subjects are maybe more, but these two subjects are put in the residuary subject on which only central government has right to take decision. Our next point is basis of creation of state in India. As we know, the creation of linguistic state was the first and the major test for democratic politics in India, and this was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. Example: Gujarat, West Bengal and Bihar. These three states, as an example I am giving, these three states are created on the basis of language, and some states were created not on the basis of language but to recognize differences based on culture, ethnicity or geography. So this includes states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. These three states are put under the formation on the basis of culture and geography. So kind for your information, all the states which we have in our country India, these all states have been formed on the basis of two bases. One is language and other one is culture and geographical condition. And what is the language policy in India? As you know, a second test for the Indian Federation is the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. The Hindi was identified as the official language, but it is the mother tongue of only 40% of Indians. The central government said to continue the use of English as along with Hindi for official purpose. That's why in offices we have Hindi and as well as English as a medium of communication. Next one is center-state relation. Restructuring the center-state relation is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. How can we strengthen federalism? By restructuring the center-state relation. Next, all this changed significantly after 1990. While we were talking about changes, these all changes came after 1990, and this period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country, and this was also the beginning of the era of coalition government. After 1990, the era of coalition government came in existence in our country India. Third tier of government. As you know, federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state government, and it is called the local government. The local government, it is the third tier of government which is based on decentralization of power. So as you know, decentralization is what? Some powers of the state government has been taken and given to the third tier of government, and this division of power is called decentralization, and decentralization has been strengthened after 1992, the amendment of the constitution. So urban government is run by municipality, rural government, panchayati raj government, under third tier of government that we call local level government. Now, amending the constitution, the constitution was amended to make the third tier of government more powerful and effective. Now it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections to local government bodies. Seats are reserved in the elected bodies and the executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes. At least one third of all the positions are reserved for women in the panchayat election. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal elections. So these were some of the amendments done after the constitutional changes of 1992 to make the third tier of government more powerful and effective. I hope you have understood up to here. Study properly, be safe. Thank you. Have a nice